She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids.
And everything in between.
Welcome to the Pretty and Punk podcast. My name is Dan Caldwell, and I'm here with my wife, Ildiko Ferenzi.
Why can't I say my name?
That's true. I thought I would just fix that for you. I said it for you today. So,
what if I wanted to say my name?
Because I said it for you.
I was so excited. I took a deep breath. I'm like, woo!
I said it for you.
Okay, thank you.
So today's show, we decided to jump on here real quick because we know we're a little behind, and we were supposed to actually have posted some episodes already, but with this quarantine thing being lengthened out, we weren't able to get sitters for the kids. And Daniel isn't going to school, so it's been, how do you do a podcast when you have kids running around in the background?
You just do it.
So today's show is on procrastination. I guess I'm the one guilty of this, really, because I really wanted to show, when I think about taking the time to get some of our entrepreneurial friends on the show, and we're trying, some of our friends on the show to talk about how they run their businesses and really hear about their background story on their business, but then also talk about, how their kids played into building their business. And
we had these great plans to do it in our fantastic studio.
Yeah, we have the studio.
Kidless.
And, well, yeah. Pretty much kidless, with somebody there with the kids, or while we're in there doing our show, and it was going to be perfect. But then quarantine didn't really let up, so we're still here in quarantine in Los Angeles, which I know it's let up a little bit. They've pulled back the standards a little bit in different places, but in Los Angeles it's hard and heavy, and you can't go anywhere without a mask. The beaches are open. There's a few things that are open that weren't before. Our gym is open, but
kids aren't going back to school.
There's no daycare. Yeah, no kids in school. No, we have no babysitter, no nanny. We're here with our little one. My wife is actually nursing the little one right now in the middle of the show. So that's what we're left with, and we decided let's just do it. Let's just start the show.
Because we're getting so many emails about people going through this very thing, and I'm like, babe, we got to just do it. Because we're living and breathing exactly what our listeners are going through. So
and I love this because I'm usually the one that just does it. I'm usually that guy. I'm the guy that let's, we have something going on. Let me just jump in here and get it done. And I just start on it and just get it done. But when it came to this, I had a lot of concern about getting someone on the show and then being in the middle of an interview and then having to, have both of our kids running over and needing attention.
It's just that horror thought of, oh my God, what if the baby starts crying, or what if Daniel needs something? But that's what everybody's going through. And, if our interview doesn't get that or hasn't lived that, then that's not our interview. So when we're talking to our interviews that are lined up and we keep pushing and pushing and pushing, they agreed. They're like, let's do it. This is what I lived and breathed. So
yeah, I think the good thing about it is when you're interviewing with people with kids, they all know exactly what you're going through.
It's like this secret club.
It is a club. And, it's like when you're starting a business, and, we recently started a business, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in future episodes. But we have this business, and it takes a lot of time to dial in a lot of what's going on. And, it's mostly an e-commerce business, but we do a lot of networking too. And we go to a lot of events and auctions and different things that makes it hard. You really can't bring the kids to.
Well, that's not true.
Well,
we're really
sometimes someone we can bring
because
the kids
we
to.
do bring our kids. Well, we have brought our kids.
Yeah, we have.
We never imagined that we could, but our kids are pretty, they're used to the lifestyle. They've been. She's not getting enough milk. She's a feisty
I don't think
one.
they want to hear that.
Sorry. I'm not sorry. Screw it.
Yeah.
But so this is the way that we brought up our children, and they're in the business. So
yeah, we want them to be a part of the
exciting.
business, and I think that having them understand what it takes to put something like this together and to do our business, and they see us, they ask us, Dad, what are you doing? Can you come play with me right now? And maybe at that point I can't. And I'm gone too. I do other stuff where I actually have to get out of the house to go work, even in this situation. But whenever we can bring one of them so they can observe us going, because we want them to see it through example. We want them to watch us work and create this business through example. And especially Daniel. Daniel's sitting right here. He came walking up. Hey, buddy, can you say hi? So Daniel will ask us a lot of questions about why we're doing something or why what we're doing on our computers right now, and he'll want to see or watch one of the videos that we're watching. And I think that he actually learns a lot from that. So I think I would encourage anybody who's starting a business, if it's possible, because we're building future entrepreneurs.
Where's this blinking?
Because it's working. Just
we're
like
building
mommy
future
and daddy.
entrepreneurs, and this is and I think putting them in the middle of this business is going to help him in his future, and we want to maybe someday help him build a business too.
Yeah,
we'd like to see all of our kids
I want him to feel comfortable. I want him to see
feel
us
comfortable.
Know that it's okay. Like this is our businesses right now, but Dan and I, we're never shy of trying a different business or something isn't going that way, or we feel like, okay, you know what? I think this is the end of this journey. Let's do something else. We're not afraid to.
And then we touch.
Daniel, we're not afraid to. What is it? Change lanes. And I want him to feel comfortable doing that, and my daughter to feel comfortable doing that.
Well,
in some
ways, we're not going to let him just let up.
No, of course not.
Hey.
But if he's tried everything and said, you know what, this really isn't, it just doesn't feel right anymore.
Well, sometimes you got to pivot.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
You're never quitting. You're just always
pivoting
to.
Yeah, you've learned
figure
enough.
out what works.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a journey, especially right now, because right now the kids are with us most of the time, and when there's things that the kids can't go to, like I went to a meeting yesterday at Nobu in Malibu, and there was something that they couldn't. That was something that I couldn't bring the kids to, and so I had to handle that meeting by myself. And those are the times when one of us are going to take over for each other. So if there's a situation where I can't bring the kids, Ildiko will watch the kids. And if there's another time when he wants to do his own podcast, if there's other times when she has to do something, and she has make appearances or whatever, what have you, or interviews, then she'll handle that stuff. I'll watch the kids while she's out there doing that stuff for the both of us. You can see it sometimes, even right now, that both of these, it's a train wreck happening. There's a train wreck. So, anyways, that's quarantine for you. But we just knew we had to do the show, so we wanted to get on here and put the show together because, in a way, to prove
everybody's asking, where are you guys? So it's time.
And I think too that listeners could be going through the same thing. It's like, when's the best time to start a business? There's never a great time to start a business. You start a business now. Right now is the best time to start a business because it's the best time in history to start a business. And so even when you got kids, even when you got kids like this yelling in the background, and if that's the way it has to be, I've Sometimes I have to go into one of our rooms and lock the door, close the door while I'm on a business phone call. But in this case, we have our podcast equipment in the living room.
Thank you, baby.
Because we thought it would be nicer here because we have windows everywhere in the living room. So we have a good view of the surrounding area, which we're by the ocean here. So, it's a nice visual for doing
vibe,
our podcast.
Usually,
yeah. But the kids like to hang out here too because
so that was a moment of this storm that I know that you guys are going through. Like now,
everybody's going through this. Anybody who's got kids, I'm sure, it has some level of this. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a nanny or somebody who's or family who lives close, who's able to work with you to watch the kids, and allows you to get some business done when you have to do it without the kids.
Oh man, that's so valuable.
Which is
it kind of sucks for us because my mom's sick, your
mom's
sick,
in Canada right now.
Yeah, so
her mom's in Canada, and we live part-time in Canada, and my family lives about 2 hours away from us. So we're in Los Angeles, and they're about 2 hours away. So we can't really utilize them except for if maybe we have an event we need to go to, we could drive them out there and drop off the kids for a little while we go to the event. But we don't have that luxury when we're doing a podcast because we have to we're here and we can't drive 2 hours to drive back to do the podcast, to go back 2 hours to go pick up the kids.
So you just got to start with what you got. And, we had this perfect picture planned out in our minds of how it's going to be. And we had,
this beautiful podcast studio.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
We finally talked to someone that I don't, I've never had nannies for the kids. I've never really had a babysitter. I had someone that helped me out for a couple months after I had some surgery. That we'll get into that another time. Last year, a life-saving surgery, and I couldn't lift the babies for 6 months. So everything, Dan had to deal with the businesses and the babies. So a few times a week, I had someone come and spend some time with Daniel, but most of it was supervised. Like I'm pretty nervous to leave the kids. It's a crazy world.
So how did you like that situation where we had a nanny for a minute when we were in Vancouver?
Well, I wouldn't say nanny because when I think of nanny, I feel like someone that's there all the time. Like she was only there for a couple. She was only there for a couple hours a day to take him out to be active because being so active, I all of a sudden wasn't mobile. I couldn't walk. I couldn't lift the kids. It was heartbreaking. It was horrible. But, one step at a time, these things do happen in life to the most unexpected.
At the most unexpected time.
Yeah.
So tell me what you think about that situation. Would you like having somebody like that, having a nanny with Daniel when we're trying to get work done and it makes it a little bit hard with the kids because they need attention and you want them to have, I think personally you want them to have good attention, don't you?
That's the thing. That's the hard part is if I'm going to have some, because I'm very hands-on and even if I have the kids come with me on business, what is it, choo-choo? I'm very hands-on, and I want to make sure that their minds are growing all the time. I don't want to put them on YouTube. I'm not that kind of, not that there's anything wrong, and not that I've never done it. I have done it, but I don't
time
want
and a
them
place
to
for
be.
everything.
Yeah, I don't want them to be YouTube raised. I want them to be engaged. I want them learning. That's what I want them to do.
That was one thing that scares us. I think, wouldn't you say that that they stick their head in an iPad,
iPhone,
an iPhone, and we just they don't learn to engage with people, even though we understand that may be the future of what people are going to have their faces in notebooks and
that's
iPads
what I
and
love.
working.
That's what I love about bringing him on our journey because he learns, he's so social and I notice it sometimes.
And I think because of those meetings that we brought him to.
Yeah, he's very social and he's not shy. He's so confident that way. He doesn't understand, like he doesn't know to be afraid of people. He at a very young age, as soon as he could barely speak. Remember when we used to go to restaurants and stuff?
Oh yeah, we had a great meeting with Tom Ballou and Lisa, and who are great people. And we brought him.
Was it there that he we were in conversation, and he didn't ask us for water, but he got up, and I don't mind when he goes to talk to people because he's very polite. And it's sweet, and who can resist like a 1.5-year-old or a 2-year-old going up to your table, being really polite, saying a few words, and then coming back to us. But what he did was he went behind the bar, grabbed the waitress, and he comes back with a glass of water. Like, he's independent. He does these things all the time because I feel like he sees us go for what we want and express ourselves, and he sees that. And I truly feel you become what you surround yourself with. So I really do I grew up in that type of environment. I went to work with my mom. I was with her in the antique store and the jewelry store, and I loved having conversations with adults, and you learn so much. And he truly believes that he's an entrepreneur. It's the cutest thing. We were watching a commercial the other day, weren't we? And then he says, it was about entrepreneurs. He says, we're entrepreneurs. Like, it's just the cutest thing. And maybe that's not the path that he's going to go on. Maybe he's going to be a soccer player.
I keep telling him he's a UFC fighter.
Oh, God. No. He's never even watched a UFC, so he has no idea what it really is. But somehow he overheard. No, but he overheard one of your podcasts. Like, you were doing an interview, so you were talking about it, and because you were so passionate about it, and that was just your journey, you don't really have anything to do with it anymore.
And I talk about it here and there when we're talking.
Right, but he's never actually seen it. He's like, I'm going to be a UFC fighter. I'm like, no.
We don't want him practicing on his sister.
No. Oh my gosh. And he's so sweet. Like, that's the other thing. When we communicate well and we, are loving towards each other, they mimic that. And it's incredible. It's incredible.
So anyways, we're back on our path, and
we're doing it. Darn it!
We're gonna bring on our guests and do our show, kids in hand. And if it means a little background noise and the kids yelling or crying or whatever happens, we're gonna make the interviews happen because we can't wait anymore. And it looks like with this second round of pandemic, who knows when we're getting back out in the world again? Who knows when it's getting normal?
The time is now.
Yep, it is now. So we thank you guys for tuning in. We thank you guys for checking us out. Be sure to check out Ildiko at Spicy Little Pepper and Tap Out Punk Ass. And we will keep you guys updated on some of the guests that we have coming on.
And keep the emails coming.
Yeah,
and
thank you guys
for the reviews.
Actually, all your messages are what made us say we just got to do this. We don't have a choice.
You guys are waiting so patiently and telling us like this is what we need, and that's what we're here for. I mean, we're learning too. We're figuring this out too. I'm, a second-time mom, but I'm an entrepreneur and I'm figuring this out. And I've had some crazy things. Like, I could juggle it all, but I've had someone bump their head. But obstacles come your way. And I hope that I can inspire other people, and I want to be inspired by the people that are coming. Yeah, I'm so excited.
We have some really great entrepreneurs coming on, so be sure to tune in.
Yeah, and if you want to be on the show, email us, or whoever you have your eye on that you want to hear their story.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Keep sending those emails. We love you guys so much.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. We love you.